Have you ever noticed that even after doing a great deal of personal growth work, learning about your patterns, developing self-awareness, and intending to be grateful and aligning with your heart's values, that certain painful emotions still show up, like fear and shame and guilt, anger or frustration? And then when they arise, it can be so confusing. You may find yourself wondering, why is this still happening? Or even, I thought I had already worked through this, right? Well, if you're new here, you'll discover on this channel how strong, high-achieving women transform their subconscious identity patterns that spark these emotional triggers and reactions. And these emotional reactions can often result in our relationship struggles and our conflict. And one of the most important discoveries that many women make on this path is something that can feel very surprising at first. The difficult emotions that we're trying the hardest to avoid, they're often the very gateway to the transformation that we're seeking. Hi, I'm Judy K. Katz, and for more than 30 years, I've been working with high-achieving women who are deeply committed to emotional healing and spiritual growth, and who are seeking to live from their highest version of themselves while engaging in their soulful purpose. And one of the most powerful turning points many of them experience is learning that the emotions that they've been trying to avoid, they're often pointing directly toward the transformation that they've been seeking. In the last video, we explored why resisting our survival patterns actually strengthen them. And I mentioned something that can feel almost paradoxical. When we meet our patterns with acceptance rather than resistance, something begins to soften. But this raises an important question. What does it actually mean to accept a difficult emotion in the first place? Well, does it mean staying stuck in it? Well, no, not at all. In fact, on the contrary, it releases it. So in this video, we're going to discover why these difficult emotions that we try hardest to avoid are not the obstacles to transformation. They're actually often the gateway to it. Most of us were never taught how to approach emotions like fear and shame and anger in a way that actually transforms them. Instead, we learn to control them or push them away or just move past them just as quickly as possible. But these strategies don't transform the pattern. They just simply protect us from feeling something that felt overwhelming in our past. And that's exactly where many identity patterns get stuck. I remember a moment in my own life when this became very clear to me. I was in a meeting with someone I had worked with before. It was my previous employer. And he began questioning me about something that I wanted to do for the business. Well, his tone felt kind of interrogating to me, almost as if he was making me wrong, and I felt terribly incompetent. And in that moment, I noticed something was happening inside my body. I just began to start shutting down. My mind couldn't think clearly, and I just couldn't find the answers that he seemed to be looking for. Well, later, when I was safely out of that environment, I began reflecting on what had happened. And instead of pushing the experience away and blaming him, I allowed myself to just feel what was really there. And the emotion that surfaced was shame and embarrassment. I could feel the intensity of it in my body. It was strong. And instead of trying to explain it or to get rid of it, I allowed that emotion to just move. I really broke down and I just cried and I let that energy just release. And then something interesting happened. Once that emotional energy moved through me, my thinking mind became clear again. New ideas began to arise about how I could communicate differently with this person. His style was very transactional and very analytical. My style is very relational. Well, the next day, I met with him again. And to my surprise, his entire demeanor had changed. He was welcoming, he expressed trust in me, and he gave me the go-ahead to do my project. And I remember wondering to myself, where did that mean man go? Well, that experience revealed something very important to me. While I instinctively froze in the moment and I shut down my feelings of embarrassment and shame, once I was safe at home and I reflected back and I allowed those emotions to be felt in my body without resistance, I noticed that reaction softened and clarity was restored. I stopped seeing this man as the enemy doing something to me. Instead, I regained my authority and I chose to meet him where he was. It was like he did something for me. Meeting that situation with acceptance rather than resistance changed everything. This is why learning to feel difficult emotions with compassionate awareness can actually set us free. Earlier, I mentioned something that might seem surprising, that the emotions that we try hardest to avoid are often the gateway to transformation. Well, and this is why. When we resist emotions like our fear and shame and guilt, the nervous system just stays locked in defense. But when we meet those emotions with compassionate awareness, something begins to reorganize internally, and our nervous system just settles and our clarity returns. Then the identity patterns connected to those emotions begin to soften. And the good news is, the situation or the person that we might have been blaming for making us feel bad, that begins to shift as well. So I invite you to pause right now and reflect for a moment. Are there any emotions in your own life that you've learned to push away because they once just felt too painful to face? And if so, just remember you are totally not alone and it is not your fault. And those emotions are very likely pointing you toward the very transformation that you might be seeking. So I have a simple weekly practice for you. This week, when an emotional reaction arises, try something different. Just pause and take a slow, deep breath, and then ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? And it's important to name that emotion. So you might be wondering, why is naming your emotion so important? Well, because it interrupts the story that's sparking it. You begin relating to it, not from it. You become the observer. And then bring your awareness gently into your body and just notice where that emotion lives. And instead of trying to change it or trying to ignore it, just simply allow it to be present. You may be surprised by how naturally things begin to soften. So in my next video, we're going to explore something many strong women have never been taught. Why emotions like fear and shame, guilt, and anger can feel so overwhelming in the first place. And how understanding this begins to change our relationship with them completely. Until then, I invite you to simply begin noticing your emotional reactions this week and practicing the gentle shift from resistance to compassionate presence, feeling the emotion in your body and noticing where you are tense. So if this message resonates with you, I invite you to subscribe and to continue this journey with me in my Identity Transformation series on this channel. While this is a progressive series, each video will stand alone. And if you'd like some additional guidance with this process, you can also download my free Roadmap to Freedom guide. I've got the link for you below in the description. So remember, you are a spiritual being having a human experience, and indeed a treasure to behold. So I do hope to see you in the next video, and bye for now.